No? Okay. Okay, welcome back to Let's Get Real with Jill, my very first video podcast. And we are doing the second episode, and I'm super happy to still have my son here. Thank you so much. And if you were here the first episode, we talked about life's challenges, how we keep our relationship going based with God with our foundation, trials, tribulations regarding divorce, diabetes, college years, trust, and respect.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys did tune in to the first episode. So this second episode, we're just going to kind of fast forward to now. And you're going to be 30 years old in July.
Yes.
Kind of hard for me to imagine. And so we're going to talk about your career, finances, relationships, and the recent passing of your dad. So that's a big deal. So let's go ahead and talk about your career. So you went to Azusa Pacific. You spent a ton of money, and but you chose a different path.
Yeah.
After you thought, I'm going to do real estate for a little while, and then you decided something else. So tell us about you finding your dream career.
Yeah. Well, I chose a very difficult major in college, film. And then, but then I didn't use my degree for a minute. But yeah, I worked at a restaurant, and then decided to get into real estate. I did real estate for a few years, but it provided though. It was awesome. And thanks to you for that, for getting my real estate license and everything. And then after I just felt like I was being fake with people and didn't feel like I was being genuine. So yeah, and I just did not like the work at all. So I was waking up and just hating every day. So I was like, I'm gonna go make $15 an hour as an electrician. And that's what I started at, but I was like loving it immediately. So to me, it was worth it to do something I hated and struggle. Or I'm doing something I love and struggle. Okay. You know? Yeah. Because
when you were doing real estate, you said, you weren't being authentic.
No.
Then. And nobody should have a career like that. You want to wake up and be excited.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you're starting your 4th year in the apprenticeship program as an electrician.
Yeah.
And you love it. I
do. Yeah. I tell people it's like adult summer camp every day.
Oh my God.
And we get to work and we all stretch. We all get together and stretch, and then we break up in little groups and go do our different activities. And then, just all the people that I work with are just super cool to hang out with all day.
That's awesome. And you have learned so much, Kyle.
Yeah.
And you wake up at the crack of dawn. And then I'm like, who are you?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm a man who loves my job. So, career. So, kudos to you for taking that chance at starting at $15 an hour, which is why you did have to come back home for the third time. But now, I think you're done.
I think so.
Yeah, unless you have to come and live with me and take care of me. Then there's an opportunity. The Pines. With the Pine sisters, that's another episode.
Yeah.
All right, so congratulations on that, though, because you literally took steps back to move forward. And so I'm excited for you, and I love hearing your stories. Okay, let's talk about your finances then, because there's a lot of people out there who have financial challenges, which is why people are going back and living at home.
Yeah.
What could you have done differently, and just be totally open with your finances? What would you have done differently?
Saved while I could. There were times when I was like for long periods of time where I was just living way beyond my means, and I didn't know what a budget was. I didn't know I just didn't respect the dollar, even though I was working hard to make a dollar still. Yeah. I didn't respect the value of it. Yeah. And anytime I tried to save, something would come up, and thank God I had it, small savings, but that money went to whatever came up. So I was never able to get ahead, and living paycheck behind paycheck for a long time, up until recently. Yeah. And even last year I was working as an electrician and working at a restaurant. But I knew that's kind of what set me up though to start, catching up. And then like now for the first time in years, I feel like I'm ahead a little bit. Yeah, thank you. It feels good.
What a relief, right?
Yeah.
And I think you bring up a good point, and I think this is really important for people out there too, Kyle, is really understanding what money means.
Mm-hmm.
But learning it, I mean, as a parent, I feel like I should have really taught it to you at a young age. Yeah, we say you get allowance, you do your job, you get this, but are we really talking about what does that mean and how do you work with money? And I think that'd be a really good thing in school sometimes.
Yeah,
Just really learning that. And that is, and budgeting. Like I think people should learn budgeting at a very young age. So I'll take that one on. That's probably why I took on his student loan. But. Okay, good. And I say this to you all the time. Good thing you're my only child.
Yeah.
I mean, you have two brothers, but you are my only child. Otherwise, you would probably be somewhere. Who knows?
Yeah.
We wouldn't be talking about your luxury trips, your college.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I think that's important about finances, and lesson learned on my side is to have really taught you more the value of what a dollar means, and relationships. So talk to me about. So you had a high school girlfriend. You never brought somebody home that I didn't like.
That's good.
Never.
You're also just very easy to get along with, though.
Oh,
You're very welcoming.
thank
Yeah.
Even the one that I wasn't thrilled that you lived with at that time, but I knew that wasn't going to happen. But I loved them for each of who they were because I knew you're not going to just bring home anybody to meet me. So tell me about what advice can you give people out there about relationships and kind of what your focus is on so that you are not going to be as a divorced child, a child of divorced parents. Talk to me about that relationships and what you're thinking for your future.
I think like the biggest thing that I've had to go. I think like in high school, my high school relationship, I was not a good person, like to be in a relationship with. I think I was a terrible boyfriend and not very nice. And I think I was learning. That was just me learning how to be in a relationship. And going forward after that, I just learned that you got to be better than yourself a lot of the time. Like, you got to be more patient than what you think you're capable of, or you got to be. I think at the end of the day, it is like kind of how it is with us, like respect. I think respect is like you got to respect the person you're with. You got to respect what they want and the things that they need.
Right, because they're different.
Yeah,
we're all different. We're not the same, and they're going to have a different opinion. And so tell me, and so what? Because I remember you did say in high school you didn't treat Melanie very good. You ended up apologizing to her, after you guys, like a year later or whatever.
No, like years later.
And what was that about?
I don't know. It's one of those things, like intrusive thoughts that you fall asleep thinking about.
Okay.
It's just like. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I peed my pants on that field trip. And when I was in middle school, like that's.
Okay.
I can't believe I was that person.
Okay.
Like, I treated somebody like that.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, and so this relationship that you have with Alyssa.
Yeah.
And so I get excited. Okay. So what does this future as a relationship? Where is God in it?
God's like definitely like for me is at the center. I pray for our relationship every day. I pray for Alyssa every day. I pray that I'm sculpted into a man, husband, future father that I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. Because I think no matter what, like I feel like if I had that at my core, I do now, but I think then I would have done a whole different thing and maybe not have gotten. I don't know if I wouldn't have gotten a divorce, but I think I would have handled things a lot differently.
Sure. Yeah.
That's why I'm so thrilled and so happy that is your core, because if you do bring in children, that's a big deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about your dad, because this is a tough one. And we've talked about it, but we haven't really kind of soaked it in. So it's been just over a year since your dad passed. And what has this year been like? for you?
It's definitely like, it's weird. I guess things hit people in different ways, but for me, it's been like just a lot of little moments. I haven't had like one big old cry session or anything like that, but it's been like a lot of little moments for me where like even now, I have urges to call him or text him and let him know what's going on. I'm really bummed that he never got to meet Alyssa, and that he won't be at my wedding, he won't meet my kids, you know. That bums me out for sure. But we also, like, we had a joke with him, Adam, Brett, and myself, that, like, we called him the cockroach. Because it was like 10 years we thought he was going to die.
Right.
Like every couple months something would happen. We're like, this is it!
This is it. And it's interesting though, because sometimes when we think that, but then when it really happens.
Yeah, like we think you're ready for it. Like, I mean, we saw it coming for so long.
Yeah.
And then finally, like, we realized he wasn't going to leave the hospital. And then we were like, oh, it's actually going to happen this time. So it does hit a little bit.
Yeah. And it is interesting because things do hit a little at different times, and like in Father's Day's even coming up. So and I feel bad because we've been divorced since 2007. So my life has been not with him, where your life has been. So sometimes I forget. Like, you can be going through something.
Oh, yeah, but it's normal because he hasn't been part of your life.
Yes,
yeah.
And I want to be more cognizant of it. And I remember and I'm sorry, like the 1 year, because he's always on, I think about him every single day.
Yeah.
I think because he passed. It wasn't like I was thinking about
him
every single day.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. It is weird, though, from my perspective, with his passing. It's very odd. But what was I gonna say? Like his 1 year anniversary, like I didn't even call you. I called you about something else, and you're like, well, maybe I could do that tomorrow because Dad passed away a year ago today. Like, and I'm so sorry.
Oh no, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I also don't like deal with things very publicly. So I was just dealing with it on my own, and it was fine.
Yeah. So do you keep things in when you say you don't deal with it publicly? Like, what do you?
I would say I like hold it in.
Uh-huh.
Like if I need something, if I have to talk about something, I definitely will, especially with you, with Alyssa, with my friends. But I think I'm more like I just think through things on my own, pray about things on my own. Yeah.
And I am sad that he hasn't met Alyssa, that he didn't meet Alyssa.
Yeah.
So what is it about your dad that maybe that you like miss most, or maybe didn't even know about him until later? Like, share some fun stuff.
That's a good question. It's crazy because like he was my dad, but like in the professional world, he was a completely different person. Yeah. It was crazy. Like going to his memorial service was like the coolest thing because all the people that got up there to speak and tell all these insane stories about him, and then getting to see like newscasts, getting to see him honored, getting a flag flown over the state capitol for him, so many awesome things, and hearing all these stories about like what a legend he really was in Sacramento. Yeah. Like that's my dad.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
It's super cool. But like me personally, I miss like just like the stupid moments of like when I would just be playing guitar and he'd just start banging on his congas. Every single car ride was him on the steering wheel.
Oh, that was so irritating.
Yeah. But he was just such a like no one's perfect, but he was just such a like really kind man. Like just such a kind. He always just wanted to serve other people, and he did serve a lot of people. Like with Keaton's, they like literally helping like individual people get involved with Keaton's. That like kids that are sick and kids that have cancer, like getting them the support they need, and then helping the actual association of Keaton's fundraise and do all these amazing things. And then they honored him too at their gala with a special award, and that was awesome too.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's been months like for the last year of like going to different places and seeing how like a difference that he made in people's lives.
Right. He definitely had a servant's heart for sure,
Yeah.
and liked connecting.
Yeah.
He did like connecting people. What was I going to say? Oh, I remember what I liked too is even though we were divorced, like we took you, like we would go to Azusa. Remember we would drive together to Azusa?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And then we would still do church together on Sundays.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was nice. So it is weird when we do go to church because remember they had the round tables and we sit at the round table.
Yeah, he got that. Like, he made that happen.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that why they don't do it anymore? I mean,
yeah, because he like couldn't walk. So like he was like, we really need some handicap tables here.
Okay.
So he got himself a handicap table, and they said.
Yeah. Okay. And then we'd always sit there.
Yeah.
And it's weird because they don't really do that, right?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So that was cool that at least, even though we've been divorced for so long, at least we were able to still go to church together.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to say or that advise anybody that's young, that they've lost their parent? I mean, you're only 29 years old, Kyle.
I think there were things like it definitely felt like a burden a lot of the time to help my dad, taking him to the hospital a lot, going and helping him out around the house. But now it's like what I think about, like why didn't I just like a lot of times when I go over to his house to help him with something, he really just wanted to sit and talk. And it's like, why was I so busy that I couldn't do that? Like why? Like what else was I doing? Was like, did I want to go home and play Xbox? You know, like why was it such a burden for me?
Yeah.
And I wish I could have taken advantage more of those moments where he just wanted me around.
Yeah. But I get it. I mean, you're human too, but I understand.
Yeah,
that.
but like you know, they're like I don't know, talk to people and be intentional with people. Like you know, like it's gonna be the last time you're gonna see them. Like you don't know when something's gonna happen.
Right, and make it if it's their last day, make it their best last day.
Yeah.
That's the advice I give myself when I go to the Pines. Seriously, yeah. No, and I'm sorry that, and I totally understand that. And there's that Cody Johnson song, Until You Can't. And that has really resonated with me, Until You Can't.
Yeah.
And you know what, you hit it. It wasn't that Dad needed a light bulb change. He just wanted that company and have time with his amazing son. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, Kyle, thank you so much. Is there any words that you want to share or end with at all?
No, I think that I know this is going to air probably a little bit past Mother's Day, but happy Mother's Day. And I'm so honored to be your first guest. I know this is going to be such a big thing. You're such a natural with it. And I think I think it's so cool that you're doing this. And I think it's so cool I get to be a part of it.
And you're always my number one cheerleader all the time for everything. So thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to get this done. And now let's go have some steak and have a good time. And I'm just so proud of you and the human being that you are. And you know what, Kyle, don't change your heart because you have a beautiful heart.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you, honey.
Love you.